and maybe even good, right? Because it opens up lots of possibilities. You can have these discovery conversations with your friends, your family, your spouse. You can have that dialogue around why, right? What is the why? Get clear, get focused, um, and really think of it like a microscope, right? If you're zoomed way out, you can see a lot, but it's not very clear as you get closer and closer, and then microscopic, right? You want that clear of a focus on your priorities, what your why is, and that's going to change too, which is again why it's so important to keep that mindset, keep that focus on where you're going, and just make those little adjustments as necessary.
I wholeheartedly agree with all of that. Very well said. I think this is a great time in our episode to transition into our quote and next step and book because I think we made our point.
I had to be
Embrace your
careful. I almost gave
tortoise.
away the book, so I had to pause there for a second.
So leave this episode embracing your tortoise. The quote that hopefully will kind of set you on that path is by someone unknown. Direction is so much more important than speed. Many are going nowhere fast. So think about that as you take your next step, which is going to be for this episode. Plan out your short term and your long term goals. Short
Yes,
term, 6 months to 1 year, long term, 1 year to 5 years. Just like do a brain dump. Like I like that visual a lot because it's to me, I always have a lot going on in my mind, a lot swarming around, swirling around up there. So get it down on paper, just
absolutely.
financial, non-financial. Like what do I want to try to accomplish in the next 6 months to 1 year and then beyond that 1 year to 5 years? And let that be your North Star. So when you're plodding along like the tortoise, you're content. You're not being impulsive. You're staying the path. Even if you get derailed from life, right? That's going to happen, but you always know where you're headed. And you can, of course, readjust along the way if you need to. So, Donald, why don't you share the books that we have actually have two books this time
Yeah,
that we're
that's
going to
right.
share with
So
you.
so you could probably guess one of them, and it's the Tortoise and the Hare, the original story, and that's by help me with the name here. It's
So
a
it's an
fable
Aesop's
series,
fable. Yes.
Aesop's fable.
Yep.
And then the other book we're going to recommend is called The Infinite Game, and the author is Simon Sinek. Many of you may have heard of him and or read the book already, and if you have, read it again if it's been a while. If you don't have a copy, get a copy. If you've never heard of it, look it up. It's a great book, and it really embraces. Christine, I love what you said. You said embrace your inner tortoise, and it focuses on that without saying it, right? It talks about just being intentional and having this mindset where the variables do keep changing, which means your reaction, your response to those variables needs to also update frequently and often. And the other thing about the one deviation we'll take away from this race where the tortoise and the hare are engaged in this event is that the race of life, the race of what we're talking about with this active intentional lifestyle really never ends, and that's what the book is mainly focused on is this infinite mindset where you don't ever actually finish the race, but you do know where the racetrack is. You do know what direction you're going, and so those are our key takeaways. Your race is really never over.
It's really not.
Yeah,
It's not over until it's over, and we wish you all a long, healthy, prosperous life that you can enjoy, that you feel like this is the life I'm choosing to live and nothing is holding me back.
and a legacy that continues even after life,
Yeah,
right? Because
absolutely.
we all have
Like one of
family
the
that we're leaving
things,
behind. We want to make sure that they're taken
yes.
care of as well.
Yep, yep. And not only our family, but what about our community? One of my
Absolutely.
goals, at least for my business, is I really want to start a scholarship fund for
Oh, I like that.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So for, that high school student who college is not the right step or, the necessarily the best fit or the next right step for them, maybe they really are this entrepreneur at heart and they have that entrepreneurial spirit. I really want to start a scholarship fund to help those individuals start out their life post high school.
That's awesome. Well, you'll do it. It's on your list now.
It's on my list. It's been on my list for a while. So I am really excited to end this episode because I can't wait to tell our listeners about episode 9. We are doing our very first interview of the Off Limits podcast. And I'm going to tease everybody with the intro that we've written to introduce our guest coming up in 2 weeks. As a single mom of 2 children, Christine Golden found herself stressed out by her finances with no idea how to improve her situation. As a high school social studies teacher, Christine is passionate about setting her students up for success, whether it's in the classroom, through the many clubs she advises, or as a coordinator for Cinderella's Closet, which is an initiative that allows students to find their dream dress for proms and formal dances who otherwise would not be able to afford such gowns. Christine has become the hero of her own life. And I'm getting the goosebumps because I worked with Christine for 6 months now, and she truly has become the hero of her own life. She did it by creating new, healthy money habits, and she is well on her way to achieving financial freedom. We can't wait to welcome her, and we're really looking forward to this interview, and we hope you are too, because maybe, just maybe, from hearing her story, maybe there's pieces that you'll identify with, and maybe there's hope you'll hear. And maybe for you, hope will start there.
It always helps to hear how other people are, engaged and dealing with some of these things. It's easy to talk about them after the fact or share other people's stories, but to hear it from the source, I'm really looking forward to meeting her. I haven't met her yet. You guys are messing with me by having the same name. We'll have to figure that out.
I know.
We'll figure that out. We'll navigate it, and it'll be awesome. First, like you said, first interview of the Off Limits podcast, and we hope to do many more. So stay tuned.
We do. Yep. And then just to kind of give everybody a preview also, we're going to end our season with episode number 10, and that's going to be a best of. So all of our content that we've brought to you so far, we really kind of want to
we'll condense it all into one episode for you. We'll try to get you all the best pieces in one convenient episode. So yeah.
Yep. And maybe some bloopers too.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I'm comfortable sharing my bloopers, but we'll see.
I am. Let's share them. Let's get it out there.
Fair enough.
All right. As always, it's a pleasure. Thank you, Donald, for your time today.
Same here. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Off Limits.
Beyond the podcast, we are money coaches who want to help you.
So if you are looking for help managing your money, use the links in the description below to contact either of us and learn how coaching can help you thrive.
Lastly, please help us to spread the word by subscribing, leaving a comment, and sharing our podcast with your friends and family.